Hara Hara Mahadev, Hara Hara Mahadev, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Parikrama Kailas, also known as the Kailash Kora, is a pilgrimage route that involves circumambulating Mount Kailas, a sacred mountain in Tibet considered the center of the universe by Hindus, Buddhists, Jains, and Bon followers. This 52-kilometer trek, believed to wash away sins and purify the soul, can be divided into an outer Kora, the main pilgrimage circuit, and an inner Kora, a more challenging higher altitude route, which needs special training and only mountaineers can do it. The outer Kora typically takes 3 days, with pilgrims crossing the Dolma La Pass, which is about 5,645 meters height, and completing the walk between the starting point of Darshan and key points like the Rapuk and Zudalpuk. The pilgrimage is believed to symbolize the cycle of life, death, and rebirth, and is thought to dissolve karma and cleanse the soul with every step. The excitement of the whole trip is about doing the parikrama, and hence I thought this time I'll begin with parikrama and then go back to how I reached there and how I prepared for this trip. From here, we boarded the bus that took us towards the checkpost. After the formalities were cleared, we reached Yamadwar. The excitement was real as we got our first proper darshan of the holy peak, its snow-capped crown shimmering against the clear blue sky. I was able to make this video with contributions from my entire group, especially Binaji, Kamath sir, Raj and Muthu. And though I began solo, I returned with a family of 42 whose support, especially during my injury, made this journey not only blessed by the parikrama, but also deeply fulfilling with their loving companionship. Thank you all. The first day of the parikrama tested my stamina. The thin air and low oxygen made each step feel heavier, so I chose a horse to carry me forward. My horse was guided by a kind local lady who even carried my backpack herself so that her horse would have less strain. We reached Yamadwar, the symbolic gateway where every pilgrim begins this sacred circumambulation. Stepping through Yamadwar felt like crossing into another world, leaving behind everything and entering a spiritual journey. 8 of us who chose horses for the trek, while the rest decided to walk. The trail is around 12 to 13 kilometers today, mostly on level ground but always blessed with breathtaking views. On one side, the mighty Mount Kailas appeared in all its glory. We could see the southwest face shining majestically. This face is said to represent Yama, the god of death, reminding pilgrims of life's impermanence and the ultimate truth. Along the way, there were just 2 simple tea stalls. At one point, the horse pulled us gently towards a stream, where we paused to let it drink water and graze on the fresh grass. It was a quiet, grounding moment amidst this vast, rocky valley. The water from the north face of Kailas flows along like a stream, and Parikrama on day 1 is mostly along the side of the river. Further along, the west face appeared, layered like steps carved into stone. In Buddhist belief, it is linked with Amitabha Buddha, symbolizing abundance and spiritual progress, while in Hindu traditions it represents sustenance and growth. Every angle revealing a new dimension of this sacred mountain. All through the way, standing silently nearby, are the rock formations resembling Lord Shiva's bull Nandi, believed to be guarding his master's abode. The trail surprised us with the beauty of nature. All along the way, countless waterfalls cascaded down the cliffs, some thin as silver threads, others tumbling down with force. Their sound echoed through the valley, adding to the sense of purity and blessing. With every turn, there was another waterfall, another moment to pause and take in the view. Of course, the highlight was the constant presence of Mount Kailas itself. Nestled at the foot of the mountain, this spot offered the most breathtaking view yet, the north face of Kailas, rising dramatically before us. The face, sharp, shining, almost crystal-like in its symmetry. This is the most sacred side, symbolizing ultimate liberation and purity. Finally, after hours of walking and riding, we reached Tirapuk, where we would be staying the night. The tiny settlement. This is a guest house, lies at the base of the Kailas, offering the closest and most stunning views of the north face. Near the second refreshment stop, I stumbled and fell right before the north face of Kailas, as if in a full prostration before the mountain. The injuries were only superficial, but bending my knees became painful, and even tying my shoelaces left me breathless in the thin air. That night, as I thought of the next day's trek, climbing almost 900 meters higher over 22 kilometers of steep ascents and descents, I realized my body would not allow me to continue. With humility, I made the difficult choice to stop my parikrama here and return. My Kailash Parikrama was complete in spirit, even if my feet did not carry me further. "16 out of the 42 from our group went along with the second day parikrama, and the videos presented here are contributions from them. Day 2 of the parikrama is the most challenging yet the most sacred stretch. The trek begins at Kompa, perched at 4,890 meters. From here, pilgrims are blessed with a direct view of the north face of Mount Kailas. They set off early, the ones on feet almost as early as 6:30 a.m. and those who used a horse does 8:30. The air already thin as they begin their steep climb towards Dolmala Pass at 5,645 meters. The trail is rocky, and within just a few hours, they have already gained more than 700 meters of altitude, every step feeling heavier in the thin air. Some local Tibetans do the parikrama in full prostration, and they take almost 3 weeks to complete the parikrama. The altitude makes every step difficult. Breathing becomes shallow, the heart races, and even small movements demand great effort. This stretch takes us past Shivasthal, a site of deep spiritual significance. Pilgrims leave offerings here, pieces of clothing, hair, or personal belongings, symbolizing the shedding of their ego, surrendering everything before continuing to the sacred pass. The climb then intensifies, leading to the highest point at the entire parikrama, the Dolmala Pass, at an elevation of 5,590 meters. The Dolma Pass, covered in a sea of fluttering Tibetan prayer flags. This sacred spot is both humbling and powerful, but pilgrims are advised not to stay there for long. Vision. From this divine high point, the trail plunges downward in a steep, nearly 500-meter descent to Gauri Kund, also known as the Lake of Compassion, resting at 5,480 meters. According to legend, it was here that goddess Parvati performed deep penance and where she was reunited with Lord Shiva. The emerald waters of Gauri shimmer against the stark rocky cliffs, offering a serene pause amidst the real struggle of the descent. The holy Gauri Kunda, its turquoise waters glistening under the mountain sky, carrying deep spiritual significance for pilgrims. Just a few minutes to bow, whisper a prayer, and then begin the descent. On the other side lies a sharp, rocky downhill trail where even horses cannot go. For nearly 2 hours, they make their way carefully on foot. This path is rough and demanding, but soon it leads to the Sharje Daktok at 4,950 meters. From here, the east face of Kailas comes into view, less often seen but equally sacred. In Buddhist belief, this face represents Akshobhya Buddha, symbolizing infinite compassion and immovable strength. In Hindu tradition, it is associated with Shakti, the divine feminine energy. The trail gradually eases into flatter ground, leading them through serene landscapes. After another 3 hours of walking, finally reach the Jitulpuk at 4,700 meters, where they spend the night in single guest houses. But by the time they reach Jitulpuk, Mount Kailas is no longer visible. The Day 2 Parikrama is considered the heart of the Kailash journey. It's a test of body, mind and spirit, and for those who complete it, an experience of grace that lasts a lifetime. The final day of the Kailash Parikrama is a gentle walk of about 3 hours along the river valley from Jitulpuk back to Darshan, completing the sacred circuit. Though the trail is easier, the feeling of finishing Hara with Mount Kailas now behind is deeply humbling and unforgettable.